Hello, I'm back with another review. I know I need an intro, but just, I'm a work in progress. Be nice to me, please. Today I will be reviewing my all time favorite movie, Inglourious Basterds, written and directed by the amazing genius Quentin Tarantino. So, for like my entire life, I have never, ever been able to settle on a favorite movie until I watched Inglourious Basterds. It was one of my quarantine movies that I decided to watch for no reason, but I fell in love with it. Like, no other movie has made me laugh hysterically in one scene and then sit silently, really tense in another. And just to clarify, this movie is rated R for a very good reason. Not for children, not for people who don't like gore. Lots of graphic violence, um, and very strong language. Um, but of course it is. It's Quentin Tarantino. So, Inglourious Basterds takes place during World War II, following a bunch of different people and groups of people, and one of them is the Bastards, a Jewish American group of soldiers. Shoshana slash Emmanuel Miniou, played by Melanie Laurent. I Google translated that so I know how to pronounce it. Sorry, Rafe Fiennes. Um, she is a Jewish girl who plans to take revenge on the Nazis who killed her family. And Hans Landa, played by Christoph Waltz, the head SS officer in France. And all of them contribute to Operation Kino to end the war. And this is based on World War II. This is not how World War II actually went down, just to clarify that. Um, there are endless things I love about this movie. But I condensed it so I wouldn't ramble. I probably will ramble. But it's fine. The opening scene of this movie is the best, the best display of building up suspense that I have ever seen in a movie. Ever. It's so good. So the context: Hans Landa visits a dairy farm belonging to the Lapadite family in search of a Jewish family suspected of hiding there. I don't want to ruin the scene for everyone, so I'm just gonna say that Waltz's performance and Quentin Tarantino's consistently strong writing, and dialogue gives the scene so much power that by the end of it, it feels like you're being punched in the face. It is so good. Oh, it's so good. And by the way, that scene is 20 minutes long. So for 20 straight minutes, I was sitting like this, just like wondering what's going to happen because it was just so tense and I was so nervous. And it was just masterfully executed. I love that scene. So immediately after that scene, the film takes a complete 180-degree turn when you're introduced to the Bastards. Um, and you get introduced to Brad Pitt's character. My favorite character. My favorite character. Lieutenant Aldo Rain. And he is my favorite character because he is the comic relief. And judging by how this movie began, comedy would seem out of place, but it was not. It was not out of place. Somehow it blended together seamlessly, and it's so, so good. My favorite scene out of the whole movie was when Al- when Aldo Rain pretended to be Bridget von Hammersmark's Italian escort. And if you don't know, his character has the thickest out like American slash Southern accent ever. And so obviously he butchers every word he says in a foreign language. And it's so, so funny. And like with all Tarantino movies, there are like parallel plot lines that are happening at the same time. So there's the one with the Bastards, and the other one is with Shosanna, and Hans Landa kind of hops between both. And like the one with the Bastards is the funny one, and then the one with Shosanna is like dramatic and tense, and then they both clash at the very end of the movie during the premiere in a Tarantino bloodbath. It's like it just goes together so well. The transitions are really clean. Like when I watched Pulp Fiction for the first time, I kind of had a hard time following, but this one, like it was perfect. And like I want to say so much more about like the other characters, but there's so many. And I know I would ramble on for like an hour, but like Tarantino is a genius. All of the actors are geniuses. It's so good, and I wish I had like hours and hours to ramble on about each and every character and how much I love them all, and all of the scenes and all of the cinematography. But I cannot, sadly. So I've condensed it. Um, this movie, like cinematography wise, if I can say the word right, cinematography wise, I liked, because I love close-ups, like a face, because I like connecting with the characters, and so when you are close to their faces and you see the emotion on their faces, like you feel it too, and it's I that's why I love close-ups. And like the really cool, I call it, I don't know if this is what they're actually called, but like the cross section shots, like in the first scene where you're like the camera is up in the kind of dining room ish of the Lapidite house, and then it goes down. It shows you under the floorboards, like those kind of shots. I love those. And there was another one later in the movie showing Shosanna getting ready for the premiere, and that one was really cool too. I like that one. And the soundtrack. It's it's like a smorgasbord of like rock and roll songs, old western songs, and then like German music. And again, like a lot of things in this movie, it it seems like it wouldn't fit together, but somehow it does. It fits perfectly. I think that's why I love this movie so much, because it mixes a bunch of different things together so perfectly, and so you get like a little bit of everything. I think that's why I love it so much. To keep myself from again rambling, I'm gonna. That's it. I give this movie 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Recommend it to people who can handle gore and bad language in movies. Haven't decided what I'm gonna do next week, but um, I'll find something. I have a very long list. But if you have a movie that you think I should do, comment. Comment on my Instagram post. Whatever you want to do. Um, chances are I'm going to choose my own movie anyway. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.